Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4, where we are playing as the Fortress of France. A couple of things have just started. First of all, as you will notice by all of this action going on the border over here, Russia and Germany are now at war. Russia declared war on Japan, which promptly allied with Germany, and then Japan called Germany into the fight. So Japan is also at war with the Soviet Union. I'm a little bit curious about where the Soviets' armies are. If they're actually on the German border, if they are really planning to attack Japan or not, I don't know. Meanwhile, in Indochina, we have been holding our line here. It actually looks like Britain and India have started to push out. They've gone north through dictatorial Xinjiang, which is probably going to fall fairly soon. And we are also pushing into reorganized government of China area. Meanwhile, we're holding here on the south coast and have been slowly but surely pushing them back. The downside to recent events is the fall of Indonesia, which knocked out like an entire army of mine as well, because the Dutch weren't able to hold the ports which were supplying the forces which I just brought in, which was ever so slightly irritating. But we'll just deal with it, I think. Meanwhile, most of the German forces have been moved east to go and deal with the Soviets, so these borders are now completely open, so we are going to start surging out and seeing if we can counterattack. Likewise down here in Italy, the Italians have been trying to attack me for ages now, and I think it might well soon be our turn to try and push them out. So many things happening at present. I think I'm going to move my fighters, no, not the fighters, the close air support. These three to here to help restore Benelux. There's nothing else there. Okay, and then we also want to know if we have any close air support available to actually put into a new wing, and we do! So let's go and do that real fast. Say right here. Close air support. Let's move. Oops. Start that again. Shift click. 100 of those. Have you active here on close air support. Then once we take a couple of the closer air bases, we'll be able to do more. Though we actually have a pretty good range, so I think we'll be fine. This is why you don't do Barbarossa until after you've dealt with France, the dreaded two-front war. Yeah, they didn't do Barbarossa though. This was the Soviets declaring war. And it is July 42, so they've held as long as they could. Let's see what happens. Immediately good success there. And we are about to start losing a lot of troops and a lot of equipment. So do we want to continue training this? I think we probably do, although we are going to be having some pretty brutal deficits. But what I really want to do is liberate Belgium and the Netherlands if I can, so that we can bring those countries back into the fight. Because they will have a lot of industry and stuff over there. Support equipment we have too much of. I can't afford to have two factories on transports. I think right now we just need guns. Lots and lots and lots of guns. In fact, no, let's keep it that way around. That's fine. And then do we want to do anything about the Italians is the other question. Because an awful lot of their troops are very, very low in organisation. I think we will. Time for me to surge across these borders that you've been trying to push me back from for so long. And Maginot is in fact completely unguarded, so you may as well attack too. Why not? In fact, let's go and expand Maginot's objectives to do something like so. Alright, everyone's pushing out. Italy called Hungary into the war. Am I short on any supplies and equipment? I am quite short on chromium. Let's go and buy another of those. And then oil is going to be the other thing, which I think we are going to need to invest more into. Let's buy some more from the Netherlands. Give them the factories they need. There's going to be a lot of answering calls to arms for a bit. Yeah, cool. How are things over here? Do I want to attack? Yes, seeing as they've completely abandoned this front. You attack. Reds. You attack. And you guys... You are still being cut off by this. And there's one of you. So you don't attack. And we are really running out of oil. Bloody hell. Let's buy 2 more sets from the US. Turkey has joined the Axis. That was expected. Thanks to the Soviets declaring war on Turkey before they actually declared war on anyone else. Which is opening up another front for the Soviets to deal with. So they've got 3 fronts currently. Okay, we are using a lot of oil. Currently gaining 4.6 thousand. Currently using 9.6. I guess that's what happens when your army suddenly surge back into life. We still need more guns, so let's work on that. We are starting to capture quite a few factories for some weird reason. Absolutely has nothing to do with the fact that we are pushing into Germany right now, into the Rhineland. Although, Italy is proving a little more stubborn. So I think we're going to halt the Italian offensives.
Attention.
Though some of these units have just no strength. But the Italians seem to be mostly focusing on Italy, while Germany is actually busy with the Soviets, so we're going to have opportunities to attack into this, absolutely. And we still need more oil. That's chromium. Oil! Whoops, not that much. We could also buy from the Soviets. No, I think we'll continue with the US. This is using up a lot of factories and a lot of convoys too. Hopefully the German submarine fleets aren't looking too hot right now. 7.8 thousand. Let's get another 2. Okay, now that's extending how long we've got. Good. And our fleet sank a bunch of Japanese destroyers. How is the Japanese Navy looking? So that's their main bulwark at the moment. They still have a lot of ships. So we do need to be a little bit careful about the Japanese Navy suddenly appearing and attacking us. Although the Americans are active over here, as well as the Dutch. Although the Dutch didn't have any ships left. So they couldn't do very much, I don't think. Right, let's get some tea before the war begins in earnest. How are we doing for equipment? Oh boy, yeah, those are some real deficits appearing. So heavy tanks we need lots of. Oh, in fact, let's just cancel these being trained. That's going to give us a lot more equipment back. And the deficits have suddenly become a lot more manageable. Still really short on light tanks. What on earth is gobbling up the light tanks so much? Oh, I think I may have just realised. Are we still upgrading? No, we're not. I thought we might be producing light tanks and immediately trying to convert them into light tank destroyers, but apparently that's not what's happening. So that's fine. And air forces, fine. Yeah, everything else is looking good. Germans have come back in to reinforce most of this. I don't want to be pushing too aggressively because we are short on gear. And we are leaving the really, really strong defences that we had set up. We are surging through China, however. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to cancel this objective. I'm going to give you a new one. Which is going to be to take this coastline. And you are well enough trained that you can go ahead and join that again. Be a little bit careful about not abandoning this. Make sure we assign at least one person to capture that. Japan's landed in India, or in Burma, and in India. Yeah, Japanese naval invasions are causing problems, that's for sure. I never did have to use these defences. That's good. Because I'd kind of forgotten about them. Alright, so we've got 100 political power. Is there anything I wish to do with them? Here we go. Improve working conditions. It's back. I want that. Let's get some more stability going. Meanwhile, how's this Soviet line going? So, Sidiche and Brest-Litovsk is right there. Gotcha. You seem to be pushing through Belgium relatively okay. Attacks over Maginot, not quite as simple. So let's halt you. And we'll just continue to attack with the yellows. We'll use this as a fulcrum. The Quit India movement. Indian calls for independence have intensified lately. Now things have come to a head as the radical Quit India movement has called for the United Kingdom to leave the country as soon as possible. And Italy, meanwhile, is just digging in. So Italy may actually hold longer than Germany. Because Germany is definitely overextended at this point. Okay, so the Germans are pushing out. But how are the Soviets doing? Bearing in mind they've had like an extra year to prepare for this. The manpower is outrageous. They're already on service by requirement for absolutely no reason. And civilian factories, they're about the same as Germany. They do have several fewer military factories. But it's not a massive gap. And we are going to be supported by the US, who is on our side already. That's the wrong US. That's the right one. Yeah, they've got 225 civilian factories, 122 militaries. So it's a matter of time. I think the one that's going to suffer the most here, actually, is Japan. We're finally on the offensive, Sindrin. Yes, we are. Right. Are my tanks doing anything? Currently, no. I kind of want you racing along the coastline here to go and grab everything up to that, please. Because you guys are quick. And Japan seems to have abandoned that front, so I want to take as many gains from that as possible. You guys... Not you. You guys don't seem to be pushing as hard as you were. That's not true. You're still going. We're still sinking their ships, which is good. How is this looking? They have 20,000 superiority in the South China Sea. I wonder how much my strike force counts for. In fact, they have them down here as well, so I suspect that there are going to be some pretty big naval battles going on as they try to push out of Indonesia. Assault concentration done, so we get even more max planning. I would say it's time for branch into operation. We're going to go and spend the military points to get that up and running as quickly as possible. The other thing we could actually spend some mill points on is to upgrade the heavy tanks. Get that final point of armor. Do it. Oh, and in fact, yes, please do convert any tanks that we have to the new model. That'd be great. Okay, onwards. You seriously failed to kill him? Come on, people. Yes, you are failing. Could you not? So something which is a little bit dangerous here is they could try to land troops behind us. Also, Siam could join the war, and I kind of wish they would, because that's going to free up all of these guys. I'm somewhat tempted to just declare war on them myself, because we're still technically in an offensive war, so there's no other penalty for that. Oh, we can't. Strategic destruction. Let's keep the Air Force going. Ah, and this is the final one. Interception detection. Research that normally. Because I would quite like to upgrade my fighters. Because I believe that these guys are already maximum level. 5555. Don't care about range. In which case, we need to get the fighter 2s up. Yeah, definitely. More engine. Weapons so they can shoot down bombers. Something like this. We're fighting mostly in Europe, so range is not a problem. Although, that being said, what I think I would like to do is assign all of you... No, not all of you. Minus you two to that. And you two assigned to... Wait. That's not right.
Pareil.
I had the wrong unit selected here. So, Air Force, this. All the guys currently assigned to those yellows. I meant to assign you to this one. Then you two assigned to the blues. And we do have some Air Forces down here. You can stay applied to them. Okay, good. So we need a little bit of time to get our organization back again. So let's stop you attacking. Oh, it was you I stopped attacking. No, you don't stop. You keep going. And you as well. Turkey's been called in. So we're now at war with Turkey, so they've opened up another border in North Africa. Speaking of North Africa, where I have a single soldier left.
Attention.
Yeah, I think it's time for Ethiopia to lose some of their soldiers. So these three are going to be assigned to the North Africa Corps, which is now going to be assigned to the northern flank against Turkey. With the orders to take that. Still sinking a couple of ships. I mean, we're not having a huge impact, but we're having an impact. Still waiting for like the really big showdown between the Japanese Navy and my Navy, but it hasn't happened yet. Because they're definitely here somewhere. We can see that by the enemy superiority. They're still in here. This is where it would happen. I guess they're too busy fighting the Americans. Hey, McHappy Face. Had a rough day. Work at Target here in the good old States, and we apparently had a massive outage. All the registers went down, causing chaos. Yikes. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Germans are actually pushing us pretty hard here. How are we doing for equipment? We're still pretty short on gear. We are building more. The other thing that we should do is research better oil refining. Because we are spending way too many factories on importing oil right now. So when's the next tech done? That one. 24 days and we can begin on that. You need to get your act together, get yourself dug in again. Lost a fair amount of experience. How's the air war looking? Western Germany is looking pretty full. So be it. We've been pushed right back to a Calais here. Oh, this is in fact my front line. The original front line. So we pushed them a little bit here, but lost over here. I Meanwhile, Italy. How's Italy looking? No real opportunities have arisen. I wonder if I should move you lot up to here. And we'll just hold the Italian front. I think that's probably the best option. So let's go and assign you here, and we'll start trying to push you hard in the north. How are we doing for heavy tanks? Still a bit shortage. And China. Still no one really defending, although our front line is getting a little bit stretched out. Where are my reds?
Paris.
You seem really slow. Max, why are you 1.4 movement? You are slow. Why? Base speed should be 7.8. I don't know why it's... Oh, light tanks are actually a movement of 7.8? Really? Why are the light tanks so slow?
Attention.
Oh, don't tell me you're using the really ancient light tanks. No, 36s. Why are those light tanks so slow? Max speed, 12 kilometers. I'm confused.
Attention.
Yeah, it definitely says their maximum speed is 7.8. Why? No, that's the wrong unit. Max speed 12. Must be terrain. Terrain penalty doesn't change based on tank type. It might do. But I thought the terrain penalty was separate. That's why it was going at 1 kilometer rather than 7. Yeah, that's why it's going at 5.2 rather than 7.9. The two light tanks definitely 7.8, and I don't know why. This looks like I'm being hit by speed modifiers twice. Wow, we are being pushed back really hard here. How's Russia doing? Not great, considering that. Okay.
Gardez vos rangs.
Many of you are moving around way too much. Like this. Why? Why?
Gardez vos rangs.
And it looks like you guys have arrived. Your planning prep is maxed. Let's go again. See if we can make any ground. I mean, part of the problem is you don't have any armor support. I get that. Here we go. Now we're pushing those two pretty heavy. Pretty hard. One of the most steadfast managers in the back just looked at you and said a few swear words about it. Never heard him cuss in my time working there. Yeah, that sounds horrible. Not a good day. Well, hopefully you can watch the victory of World War II. Spearheaded, of course, by the mighty French. And they're behind. I knew this would happen.
Paris.
Alright, let's use Reds to deal with that.
Aux ordres.
Because apparently you are incapable of crossing straits, and it's bloody frustrating. Hopefully they can manage that. Oh, that's a point. Am I capturing any other ports that I need to maintain and hold? Not at present, no. Good. How's the infrastructure looking? So far, so good. What about supply situation? Totally fine. Oh, supply is actually coming via India now. I don't even need to upgrade the supplies here. Well, I'll continue upgrading them as we go through China. They don't take me very long to do. And yeah, as I expected, I'm the one holding the Germans back in Turkey. Oh, naval invasion. Don't think it's going to last for very long, but well done. We are losing a lot of equipment here.
Aux ordres.
If we manage to take Korteik again, then I think we'll hold. And we'll stop attacking and hold on to what we've taken. I mean, Germany's got to be doing even worse for equipment, surely. Though we've still only got 45 military factories. Our industry is still pretty small.
Attention. Tirs ennemis. Continue d'avancer.
So take what we've got and hold it. Doesn't look like Italy is too interested in helping Germany out. Which is fine, because we're just holding a whole bunch of them down here. That's a lot of convoys, but I can just build more. You know what? I'm going to accept that. And then we're just going to build a bunch of convoys. Because that will let me overcome my gun deficit very, very quickly. And then I don't need to focus too heavily on making more guns. We can just do this, which frees up factories for other jobs, like aeroplanes. Speaking of which, how's the aeroplane situation? It's not terrible. We could potentially start another wing of close air support soon. You know what? Let's do that. Let's add another wing here. Close air support. Air support, and we will assign you to purples. In fact, no we won't. I'll assign you to the yellows, because the yellows are the ones doing most of the bombing. I thought I had a lot more close air support here. Where are they all?